The 716th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match of up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing the college football and NFL seasons with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 716 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to avid conservationist, new name that I see on our YouTube page. So he says LFG, guys. So right back at you. LFG to you too, avid conversationist. Yeah, that's right, I think. Anyhow.
Is it conservationist?
Conservationist. Maybe he's a good speaker too. Maybe he's a good conversationist as well. Maybe he does both.
The conversationalist. I messed myself up. Damn.
That would be Gumby Rita, and I would be the King of the North, Taco Fox, and we are about to cover. Gumby begged to cover this event, so I said fine.
Really, I gave so many other options.
He had a lot of options, and then I checked our numbers, and you people like PFL for some reason, so here we are doing PFL. We give the people what they want. PFL Tour. It's actually at least a decent PFL because championship PFL at the very least. PFL Europe 4 is the one name. You may know it as PFL Europe 2024 Championships. So we're going to break that down shortly. Gumby has done his research. I've done my research. We're going to pick the winners for you. And then no more PFL. When do they start up again? Do you know?
Usually not until like March or April. I do think we got a Bellator Challengers or Bellator Champion something series thing. I don't know if it's Bellator or PFL or both, or I don't. The lines have been blurred and they don't need to be. They can just be eliminated. Stop rolling out two logos for the same company. That's just all I'm saying. And for the love of Christ, give Patchy Mix a fight.
Exactly.
He seems pretty bummed about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I see his fiance has been booked again. We'll see if she makes
for a title fight.
Tatiana Suarez. Yeah, that's a risky move when she can't make
They've definitely got it. They've definitely got a backup. They're just gonna put what's her face in the backup, the one who Tatiana was supposed to fight.
That's right. She already had a fight booked.
The Brazilian,
the Brazilian, that helps. The Brazilian.
You know who I'm talking about. The one with the crazy eyes.
Verna Jandiroba.
For some reason, her name escaped me, and I was like, "Don't say something rude. Don't say something rude. Don't say something rude." And like, yeah, her eyes are different. Sorry.
Yes. Let's move on. Usually it's me. Usually it's me stepping in it, but now it's Gumby for a change.
I couldn't think of any other way to identify her. Curly hair would
curly hair. Yep, curly hair. I wouldn't have got it probably by curly hair, but no. I got it. So obviously there's some truth there. Before we move on and get into more trouble, download the SGPN app. It's completely free, and you have easy access to all our shows, all our articles, all our picks pages. It's all there at your fingertips, free wherever you get your apps. All right, so I know I dragged you kicking and screaming into this fight card. Thoughts on it now that we actually are going to break it down?
I mean, the finals, you asked me to pick 5 fights off of it. I took the main event and then all 4 of the finals for the PFL Europe tournaments. All right. I mean, we got a late replacement in one of them due to an injury. We got somebody who nobody thought was going to get here in one of them. One of the fights kind of rules.
That's good.
And yeah, I mean, like it is what it is. I hope they just actually are honest with their fighters and say, like, if you win this series, you're going to go to PFL Europe or PFL proper, because that was the promise all along, is that like all of these little subsidiaries, MENA, this one, eventually Africa, like the winners automatically got to be in the season along with like some holdovers, some fresh faces, whatever, basically as a way of like cycling new talent in. And then when they bought Bellator, actually we have one fighter on here who won the first PFL Europe with a promise that he could be in the real one the next time. They bought Bellator and they basically reneged on that promise. So hopefully they don't do that to all of these fine ladies and gentlemen here.
Yeah, if you don't have it like Dakota Tcheva, then you're not.
Yeah, she was the only one they brought over, and it turned out to be pretty darn good. So props to him.
Yeah, and Gumby's still taking shrapnel. You deserve it though.
I deserve it. Yeah.
All right, this is PFL Europe 2024 Championships. It is going down on the 14th, which by my calendar would be a Saturday. It's going down in Décines-Charpieu, France. Never heard of that place. I've heard of France though. 11 a.m. So it won't get in the way with our UFC, which is good. Saturday 11 a.m. is on DAZN, which makes it an issue. It's on DAZN
for everybody.
Canada, US. That's an issue. That's another issue with the PFL. But anyhow, it is going down in the LDLC arena in a cage. 13 MMA bouts. They have Dan Hardy listed as a matchmaker. Is that true? Is he their matchmaker?
He is for PFL Europe. Yeah.
Oh, okay, for Europe. Okay, got it. All right, that makes sense because he definitely is one of their commentators. All right, we are starting things off with the female fight, championship fight. This would be the flyweight championship. They win what, 100,000 if they win these? Is that right?
100K and supposedly a spot.
Yeah.
Proper.
All right, a Polish fighter, which is always fun for me. Paulina, I can say that. Wiśniewska.
You say the W is like these.
Wiśniewska versus Valentina Scatizzi from Italy. 5-minute rounds at flyweight. I'll tell you about Scatizzi. Oh, no odds yet. They have not dropped yet. We're ahead of maybe by the time you get this in your orifices, they have dropped. But as of this recording, they are not. They're not drops. They're using Gumby lines. Scatizzi 3-3 with one knockout. Been knocked out once, submitted once. Win loss over her last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights. Is she just stepping in here? How is she in the tournament championship? She's 2-2 in the PFL.
Chanel Dyer beat her in the semifinals and was injured leading up to this fight. So it was supposed to be Wiśniewska versus Dyer. Dyer dropped out and they grabbed Scatizzi.
It's a dire situation, so they had to grab Scatizzi. Used to fight up at strawweight. That's all I got for her. Wiśniewska, whatever. Sorry, ma'am. Paulina, 4-0 with one knockout, 2-0 in PFL. She's 2 years younger than Scatizzi, 3 inches taller, 5 inches of reach, and that's all I got for these ladies.
I'll be shocked if this isn't negative 500 on Wiśniewska. Like she's actually supposed to be in this finals, which is a huge bonus to her. She's 4-0, fighting somebody who's 3-3. So even if this wasn't a tournament where somebody's filling in on late notice, like this is one of those fights you see like a minus 500 regional line for. And she beat really good opponents to get here. She beat D Bagley, who is like noted, in Carolina Wojcik, who is on and actually won on Contender Series. So like for her to have beaten those two and sort of beat them by like kind of beating them at their own game, like those two like to kind of body people and be a bruiser and dominate the position, and they didn't get to against Wiśniewska. So I can't imagine she doesn't just like manhandle Scatizzi. I don't want to like cut this breakdown short here, but like Chanel Dyer probably was going to have trouble with the physicality of Wiśniewska, and Scatizzi had lost the fight by having trouble with Dyer's physicality. So like this should be one-way traffic the whole time. Paulina's going to take this one.
All right. You thought it was in the 5s, did you say?
Yeah, negative 500 is like kind of what I would imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4 digits, though. I'll put it that way. I'd be more surprised if it was 4 digits than in the negative 200s.
There you go. So we start off with the squash match. Let's see. The next tournament championship fight we're doing is for men's welterweights. Florim Zendeli. He is from Albania. We've had actually quite a few Albanian fighters over the past few weeks we've broken down. Versus another Italian, Daniele Miceli. 5-minute rounds, 170. Miceli, the cyborg. 13-5 with 1 no contest. He's been knocked out. He has 2 knockouts and 7 submission wins. He's been knocked out 5 times. 2-0 in PFL. He's won 2 straight, and he's gone 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5. All of his past 4 wins have come via finish. He's not lost since December 2021. He went 0-1 with 1 no contest in Bellator. Bellator never die. He was fight at the featherweight and lightweight. He missed weight for featherweight bout. Do you want to guess what weight he came in for? 145
for a featherweight bout. He fought at featherweight.
Yeah, guess what weight he came in as?
160.
167 and a half. 22 and a half pounds overweight. So now he's at what? Welterweight. 2013 pro MMA debut, 0-1 as a pro grappler. I guess technically he was at welterweight for that fight as well, for the featherweight bout. Zendeli, 9-1-1 emergency. 5 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 2-0 in PFL. He's won 3 straight and gone 4-0-1 over his last 5. He's not lost since October 2021. Regional champion, 6 years younger than Miceli. 11 years younger than Miceli. 6 inches taller, 5 inches reach. All the stuff I like. Younger and way bigger. All right, Gumby, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm going to take Miceli anyway. And I think he's probably going to be like a +5 or no, maybe not 500, +350 underdog. He was a huge underdog against Ibrahim Mane too. And what did he do? He weirdly went out and knocked out Ibrahim Mane. The thing is, he's a jiu-jitsu specialist. That's why he has 7 submissions on his record. But he showed in that fight with Mane, like, you can't mess around with his hands either. And if you watch Zendeli, like, I really don't like the striking of Zendeli. I think he's a better wrestler. But I don't think there's any reason he would want to wrestle Miceli. Like, he doesn't want to be on the ground with him. He doesn't want to shoot a bad takedown and get gillied or, wind up in his guard or, he just doesn't want to engage in that kind of fight. So if it takes place on the feet, Miceli just knocked out a knockout artist in Mane. Blew up a bunch of people's parlays. Because I know a ton of people had Mane in their parlays. Blew up a whole bunch of people's parlays. Like, I think he could mess things up again here too. Like, he's surprisingly good hands mixed with good jiu-jitsu up against the guy who doesn't like to box and does like to wrestle. So yeah, give me Miceli here.
All right, we'll give you Miceli, a big underdog for the Gumby. That'll bring us into a ad read for underdog. Perfect. Underdog pick'em as one of the biggest menus for all sports. You can win up to 1,000 times your money with underdog streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. They got NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more, depending on the season. Of course, you can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. Gumby will maybe give you something you can make a play on right now.
Yeah, Thursday Night Football this week is the Rams and the Niners. I love Puka Nacua. He has been so good lately. Let's take the higher than on his receiving yards.
I don't even know what that said. It's a person's name, I think you said?
Puka Nacua, yeah.
Puka Nacua.
You should know him. He was coached in youth football by Dana White.
Oh, God. Great. Yeah, I should know him then. Sign up with the code MMA SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. AutodarkFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. Number brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities available on Rebet. It's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right. Speaking of betting, let's do some more betting here on the PFL Tour. To be precise, Gumby went out with a big dog. We'll see how angry that makes everyone on YouTube. Feed those trolls. We are moving up the card to another tournament championship fight. This one is for the men's lightweight belt. Do they get a belt? Do you know?
Yes, they get a belt and big novelty looking check.
Oh, nothing better than that. 5-minute rounds. Connor Hughes from England. Jakub Kaszuba. Kaszuba from Poland. Yes, that's right. 5-minute rounds if they need it. Kaszuba is the auditor because he actually is an auditor in his daytime job. He's also a fighter. 13-0. 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's 5-0 in PFL. He was the 2023 champion. Still, he's back to the champion in Europe, and he's still in Europe. As Gumby said, sometimes these things happen in PFL Tour land. Was regional champ as well. Used to fight at welterweight. Hughes is 10-1, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 3-1 in PFL. He's won 3 straight. 2 years younger than Kaszuba.
I think Kashuba will be a favorite here. How big? I don't know, because Connor Hughes' name has a little bit of weight to it. I think people are pretty hyped on him as a prospect. He's, like you said, 10-1, pretty darn good. Kashuba being the last champ, though, I think probably weighs over that. So I'm going to say like -175 on Kashuba. And I'm going to take him in this one. I think a couple of things stand out for me that I like better about him. Like, I think Hughes might be a touch cleaner on the feet in terms of his technique, but I think the pressure of Kashuba is what I like. He was held a little bit against the cage in his last fight, but outside of that, he's kind of been the one who dictates where the fight goes and holds people in position. He's got a few nice takedowns that he uses, and he oscillates between them. He doesn't get stuck using one, and then when it fails, he rinse and repeats and does stupid things. He's a smart fighter, and on top of that, he is a big, strong looking dude. And then when you add in that he's got really great cardio, like he is the anti Joe Rogan is going to spam that this guy's going to run out of energy. Like, he's huge, right? He's like a big old lightweight. And that's like, Joe Rogan loves to be like, but those muscles take so much oxygen. And like Kashuba's must not, like his muscles must run on fossil fuel or something like that, because he doesn't get tired like most big muscly guys do. And I think that's going to play well against Hughes too, because I've kind of seen Hughes as he gets a little bit overzealous throwing his punches, or he gets a little overzealous, a little bit overly excited in certain positions and stuff like that. He wastes a lot of energy and he winds up a little bit more on the tired side. You can see him start to wane. And like, I think the key advantage, like I said, that Hughes has, if you were to pick him in this fight, is that he's a little bit cleaner on the feet and he's a little bit more technical. But I think as long as Kashuba turns this into like an ugly fight in the first, 2 or 3 minutes, he pins him against the cage and tries to wear him down, I think you're going to see a lot of that energy from Hughes go out the window. And I think that advantage then dissipates. So for me, it's Kashuba. Again, I'm going to say -175. If it got too far north of that, I'd probably not be terribly interested in it, because again, like Hughes has got some advantages in this fight and is pretty darn good in his own right. I'm hoping his, sort of his, the gravitas he holds and the fact that England really loves him pulls the lines down. But if it doesn't, and Kashuba as the former champ blows up, I'd probably just stay away from it, because it's a lot closer of a fight than if this was -250 or 275.
Tapology is in on your side. I think it's 87% I saw on Kashuba.
That's kind of heavy, but again, undefeated record, former champ. I can see them weighing that pretty heavily.
Yep. All right. Kashuba is the play. Hopefully it's the playable line for us. The best name on the fight card we're going to next. Tournament championship at bantamweight. Lewis McGrillen-Evans. McGrillen. Fantastic. He's from England, naturally, with a name like that. Alexander Luster. He is from, I believe, Germany. Yes, Germany. 5 5-minute rounds. 135. And let's break down Luster first. Schlingel is the nickname, which means rascal. He's 9-1, 4 knockouts, 5 submissions. So he's finished everyone. He himself has never been finished. 2-0 in PFL. He's won 4 straight. He's not lost since October 2021. He's fed at featherweight, 2 inches taller than McGrillen-Evans. McGrillen-Evans, even better nickname. Do you know his nickname gonna be?
Isn't it like the Great McGrillen or the
McGrillen-Zilla
or something like that?
Yes, the McGrizzla. McGrizzla.
The McGrizzla?
The McGrizzla. I think it's a new McDonald's item over in England.
Oh, yeah, you get the McGrizzla. What would be on the McGrizzla?
I have no idea. Something not healthy.
Hit us in the comments if you're listening to this breakdown right now. Tell us what you think the McGrizzla would be if you ordered it in England.
Something unhealthy, guaranteed, is what is on the McGrizzla. All right. He is 10-1. This McGrillen-Evans character with 9 knockouts, never been finished in a fight. 4-1 in PFL. He's won 2 straight, including his last fight via TKO. Regional champion, used to fight at flyweight, 3 years younger than Luster.
This fight rules from a stylistic standpoint. I'm not here to toot Bellator's horn, In fact, I'm usually here to do the exact opposite of this, or PFL, or whatever the hell it's
Yep.
called. This fight rules, and I know it wasn't actually their matchmaking; it was a tournament that happened. But like, McGrillen-Evans is an absolute maniac in there in terms of his fighting style. Like, he just comes in swinging. He has a left hand that is devastating. This dude throws an absolute missile of a left hand. And like you said, he's got, 10 wins and 9 by knockout? Like,
yeah, correct.
Yeah, he is just a guy who is swinging from the deepest parts of his hips for a knockout, and he gets a lot of them. Luster could not be less like that. He is super overly patient, really careful, and absolutely nasty at jiu-jitsu. I actually think Luster is going to come in as a slight favorite, though. My reason being that his lone loss is Max Holzer, who we talked about this past week. He's an undefeated octagon prospect. And like, outside of that, Luster has made everybody else look silly. And he went the distance with Holzer too, which is not easy to do. But I'm going to say it's close to a pick 'em. It's going to be like -120 and then like maybe plus 100 on the McGrillen-Evans side. And I'm going to take the McGrillen-Evans side.
Yeah.
Just, I don't like taking a striker over a grappler. I felt kind of dirty doing this. But it just feels like he has to hit one of those left hands at some point in time. It is so powerful. It is such a game changer. And like, I think Luster is just like a little bit too patient on the feet that like, I think he's going to get cracked. I think at some point in time, he has to do something to get after the takedown. And if he doesn't, he's going to lose on the feet, A. And then if he does, I think he leaves himself open to be hit. And when you see him strike as kind of like a means to an end, he's definitely there for the countering. So give me McGrillen-Evans. I think he lands that left.
He's ordering the McGrizzla off the value meal. All right. Before we get to the main event, and a good nickname, let me tell you about MyBookie.ag. We are brought to you by them. MyBookie has been running on SGPN for years. You can check out their new and improved website. It's great on mobile. Plus, they have props for every game and the live dealer casino. Plus, even new early cash out options are available. Check out the MMA lines there. And when you do go to MyBookie.ag, make sure you use our promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. You get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or have Rhythm build you a model. You can now track props in the Rhythm app. NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, NBA. Rhythm has it all. Al Horford props, of course, they have that as well. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpockets.com/RTHMM. And now on to our main event. Why are the championships not in the main event is my question.
That's because they got Lazy King, man.
It's true. Lazy King.
Lazy King is their Europe. Let's put him on a pedestal type guy. And then in addition to that, they're in France. That's the home of Lazy King. They got
Lazy King.
They got to hype him.
Lazy King is Abdouraguimov, which is why they call him Lazy King. It's much easier. It's lazy to call him Lazy King. He is from Russia. No, he's from France. Sorry. As Gumby said, he is fighting in the welterweight fight against Laureano Staropoli, who you may remember from the UFC. He is from Argentina. 3 5-minute rounds, 170. Staropoli is Pepe. He's 13-6, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's 1-1 in PFL. He's won 4 of his last 5, but he did get submitted in his last fight. He's missed weight twice at welterweight before. Regional champion. He's 2-4, went 2-4 in the UFC. Used to fight at middleweight. 2013 pro MMA debut, 2 inches taller than Abdoul. Say his name, Gumby.
Abdouraguimov.
Abdouraguimov. Correct. He's the Lazy King. Why is he the Lazy King, Gumby?
I don't know. He's always been the Lazy King. I don't know. He has been like the most heavily touted French prospect for a really long time. Everybody kind of hypothesized that he was going to be the UFC's intro into France. And instead we got Cyril Gane winning bad decisions that he shouldn't have won. And
Salty Gumby.
They should have gotten Lazy King.
Yep. Lazy King's 18-1 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 12 submissions. He's been knocked out once, 2-0 in PFL. He's won 8 straight. He's not lost since October 2019. He's got multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Get sticky with it. Used to fight at middleweight, 2 years younger than Staropoli.
Aren't the regional championships like every single weight class that Aries had? Like, didn't he just win every Aries?
He has multiple Aries. He has 2 Aries belts, and he has a belt from another promotion as well. So yeah,
I think he was welterweight and middleweight or something.
His mantle
like
is creaking.
And I want to say he went to go fight for light heavyweight, and that's his last loss, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's obviously the pick here. Like -750 against Staropoli. Staropoli, dude, he's coming off of getting submitted in his last fight by a good, like, Russian style wrestler. And what do they give him? A dude who is absolutely a beast on the mat and loves to get submissions. This is 1,000% a showcase fight to like let Lazy King look like the best fighter that exists, to get the French fans jacked up for a main event. Dude, he's gonna run through him like water. I don't know a way that's like, I can't even. A lot of times when I'm like, oh, it's -750, and like maybe Staropoli could do XYZ. I have no idea what he could do in this fight to win it. He's just going to get decimated by Lazy King. So give me Abdouraguimov.
And what's the number you think?
-750, -800, something in that range.
Are we ever going to see him in the UFC, you think?
No. Now that he signed with PFL, like it doesn't seem like people, like, who have we seen leave PFL to come to the UFC now?
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that seem unhappy with the PFL.
Well, with the Bellator people, not with the PFL people. Like, if you get into the tournament and you're winning in the tournament, they like it. And I have to imagine when welterweight rolls around next year, Abdouraguimov has a spot.
Yeah, you would think so. All right, let's recap, and then don't you people run away yet. We got more plays for you to come. He's got a Lazy King in the main event. He's got the Grizzla, Mick Grizzla, in the co-main event. Not co-main event, in our second fight that we covered, second last fight. You know what I'm saying. Kaszuba, Miceli, not Scatizzi, Wiśniewska. Good job.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Time for the lightning round. Zap, bang, boom, pow. You got some plays for the people?
Sure, I'm going to take Patrick Habarora. In his fight, he's known as the Belgian Bomber, and for good reason. He throws, similar to the McGrillen, he throws big, heavy strikes. I think he's got a knockout written all over his spot this week. And I don't know how good his line will be, but, like, definitely worth the play. And then the other one I like is, mostly, I love saying his name, but also I think he's going to win. His name is Oscar Owensworth. OWNS, Owensworth. A lot of good
names.
Yeah, and well, wait until you get the nickname, because it's somehow even better. Ginger Fury. So I love Ginger Fury. He had a recently good fight with Alfie Davis, who's kind of a tough out in a really, to be able to show that he did well in that fight, like, clearly shows he should be tearing people up on a PFL Europe undercard. Again, that's Oscar Owensworth and Patrick Habarora.
All right, there you go. You are set now for the weekend minus the UFC, which we'll start setting you up with that tomorrow. But make sure you also check the sportsgamblingpodcast.com website, because we do have daily MMA articles going out with quick picks for you. So we have some UFC picks for this weekend already up on the site. So, but tomorrow we will start with the prelims and we'll go through every fight for you. In the meantime, Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. YouTube, of course, MMA Gambling Podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Twitter, SGPN MMA, at Gummy Vreeland, at Jeff Fox Writer. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer on the Instagram as well. I'm also at Money MMA, do MMA writing there, and I run a free weekly UFC pick'em contest, moneymma.substack.com. Gummy's got Top Turtle MMA podcast with everyone who's anyone in MMA on it. This week, he's got 3 people. He's
Fernando Padilla from this weekend's UFC Tampa card, as well as Natalie Salcedo and Ashley Barrett, who are both fighting on Invicta on Friday.
You may know her as Ashley Smashley. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Back tomorrow, as I mentioned, be the McGrizzla Jeff Fox, Lacey King. I'll be reading. We'll talk to you then.